All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Quiptic crossword. Came out on Sunday night in the US, Monday in Britain. Just getting to it on Tuesday. Set by Carpathian. All right. Old, private, moving around, Europe, working. Well, I just did a crossword earlier, the daily for Tuesday, where old was X. And in fact, it also had private, which was inner, and then moving around Europe. So I think it's going to be maybe a word for either a word for private or a word for moving with an E put inside. And it's going to mean working. Can I think of a word beginning with EX that means working? I presume as in a machine. It is working. It is, no, not thinking of it. Oh, let's see if I can get one down, get some nice starters. Give, cheat, praise. When I see three words like that, I wonder if it could be a triple definition, because none of those two words work together on just as give, cheat, or cheat, praise. Of course, it could also be a 10-letter word for praise, and you charade a word for give and a word for cheat. No, unfortunately not getting it. Nimble, girls regularly, taken in by date. I think it's going to, excuse me, mean nimble. Girls regularly, I don't think it's going to be GRS, so I think it must be IL. That is taken in by a word for date. And it's going to mean nimble. What is nimble? Lithe? Taken in by date. Date could be to see. If you're seeing someone, you're dating them. But I'm not getting it. There's some other word for nimble I'm just not thinking of. Now I'm going to move on. The Quiptic is supposed to be easier, but I'm not having much luck so far. Sailor achieves goals. I think it's probably going to be goals. Mainly because it's plural, and then that would fit the wordplay of sailor, something for sailor, which could be AB, or tar, or actually there's a few words for sailor, and then followed by a plural word for achieves. Wins, gets, reaches, no, and then goals. Oh, targets came into my mind, and I was about to move past it when I realized tar, of course, is a sailor, and gets, there we go, finally got one. Entrails served by pubs on both sides of a road. Okay, so I presume it's going to be something for, yes, so pubs, I think inns, and if we have A and RD for road, and then the S for pubs, inns, we get innards. Passive joiner tweaking cases. I think it's going to be maybe passive. Well, could it be some passive joiner, as in somebody who joins in but passively, and an anagram of cases, but I can't see what that would be. Writing about tense, traitor, getting laid low. Well, if it's going to be some word about another word that means tense, past maybe, and then what's a traitor? I think it's going to be, or it's going to mean getting laid low, which of course could be getting laid low in a grave. But I do wonder then if it is an ing ending, which would mean it would have to be writing and then tense. Oh, maybe tense can be, I think we have seen before where tense was just simply abbreviated to T. So T, a traitor can be a rat. What if it was something trading, writing, and then getting laid low? Prostrating, of course, would be making yourself low. I can't think of, And then what is the word for writing? No, I'm not sure about this at all. So let's get rid of all of that and come back to it. Ingenuous, doctor, autopsied, snitch. I was just wondering if it could be an anagram of ingenuous doctor. Yeah, it's the right number of letters, and so could autopsied be an anagram indicator? But that's an awful long word for snitch. Now I'm going to need some letters, I think, to work that one out. Something that removes old, farm, vehicle. Oh, I think it's going to mean something that removes. And we're going to have maybe an O for old. Or maybe it simply is an old farm vehicle. Combine harvester, a thresher. Oh, maybe an old cart, an old word for a... Oh, yeah, no, not getting that either. Mother and child meeting builder. Well, child could be S or D. I'm wondering if it was D and then a four-letter word for builder, and the whole thing means mother. Builder. Well, there's Bob the Builder, of course. No, funds seat of government. Oh, I think that would be capital, which can mean funds, sum of money, and the seat of government, the capital. I may as well finish the acrosses. Worry about horse causing bloodshed. So I think it's going to be a word for worry put around something for a horse, which of course could be GG. And we've seen some other the words like done. And then bloodshed would be the definition. Carnage. No, not seeing it. Abandons doctor before operations. So I think that simply drops. DR for doctor, ops for operations, and then drops. Story of inhabitant crossing a river repeatedly. Wow. That is intriguing, but I don't see it. All right, let me try this one. Firm, editor, rejected rules. Okay. So firm is company or CO. Editor is ed, and it's rejected, becomes DE. And so code can be rules. How about dump and kick? Creep. I think it's going to mean creep. Oh, short word for dump. And then kick. Oh, tiptoe. A tip is somewhere where you tip your refuse, so dump. And to kick something, to tow it, and to creep around could be to tiptoe. Outside of court, commend, drill. So I immediately, because I had the T there, thought outside of court could mean you put some word for commend around CT, and praise would be to commend. So practice is to drill. So now 19. Yes. Old is X, and then a farm vehicle is a tractor, and an extractor is something that removes things. All right, let me go back to the beginning of the downs. Give, cheat, praise. No, still not getting it. Daring fellow without sense of sound. What would a daring fellow be? Or is it a word for daring and a word for fellow, and it means without sense of sound? Now I can just think of deaf, but I'm not seeing how that would work. A fellow can be a don. It can also be a lad or boy. But maybe it is a daring fellow, a thrill seeker, stuntman, Evel Knievel type. No, the French experiment is current. I think it's going to mean current, which can of course have a few meanings. The French would be le or la. Oh yes, it's la. An experiment is a test, and the latest is current. Avoid manuscript about lives. It's actually about lives. So manuscript is in MS, and that goes about is. If something is, it lives, and to avoid is to miss. Now, does that help me with my old private moving around Europe? I'm thinking of operating, if something is working. I think O is old again, so that's twice Oh no, before we had X, sorry. So O here is just old. I think a private. Uh, what is that? I was going to say a rating, but that's in the Navy, right? There's the E for Europe. Old private. Uh, moving. Maybe P is simply private. And can rating be moving? Yeah, I'm missing something there, I think. Now I give, cheat, praise. Contribute would be to give. Yes, and a con is a cheat. And tribute is pay tribute, give praise. Contribute. Passive, joiner, tweaking cases. Well, it's not an anagram of cases anyway. Passive. Inert, maybe? Yes. So the words joiner and tweaking together, case, inert, they surround the word inert. Now our daring fellow. Yeah, daredevil is the word I couldn't think of. Without sense of sound. Oh, something less. Fearless would be daring. Now, what is fellow without sense of sound? Oh, fellow is F, and then without sense of sound, question mark is earless. So the question mark often indicates it's a bit of a stretch to have this as a word with that meaning. Earless, yeah. Ooh, so now our ingenuous doctor, we do have. Oh, hold on though. We have yeah, we have a P, which is not an ingenuous doctor. Oh, is it a well, it must be an anagram of autopsied snitch. Yes, which has the same number of letters. I'm hoping I didn't miscount here, but I believe so. It's an anagram of autopsied snitch, and it means ingenuous. Oh, what is it going to start with? On something, I'm thinking. Ingenuous. No, I'm not getting it. Alluring, sorcery, hiding, trap. So I think it's going to mean alluring, a word for sorcery that hides a trap. What would a short thing for a trap be? Presumably has an N in it, maybe even starts with an N. No. Mountain range I slip up in South Africa. Mountain range I presume it's going to be somewhere in South Africa. Durban, Pretoria. Oh, it actually could be a mountain range, and I slip is upwards in SA. Sierra. Let's see. I-er. Ah, yes, I slip up is I-er, and that is in SA for South Africa, so it's not backwards at all. That's put me off there. Initially lacked everything near some part of the eye. Well, I want it to be iris. Oh no, it's the initial letters of lacked everything near some. So it's lens, okay. Now our nimble girls. I think that must be an IL. Taken in by date. Nimble, agile, of course. Date, I suppose. I think that's as a verb. If you date something, as I say, an archaeologist might date something, they're aging it, assigning it an age. I think that's how that works. Cheer, pilot, flying aircraft. Oh, I was thinking it was an anagram of cheer, pilot, and I can see we have helicopter. So operating must be wrong. Which now then that explains why I couldn't make sense out of it. But I'm pretty sure cheer pilot is an anagram of helicopter. So then, oh, operative, maybe. How about that? Working operative. So now we have, it's an anagram of private moving around. And then the final E for Europe. And the whole thing means working. Yes, that makes more sense. Does that help with alluring, sorcery? Alluring, what would a word for alluring be? No, not seeing it. And then our tense, traitor. Oh, writing could be prose. Getting laid. So prostrate. Where did I go wrong with that? Because I think I did say that earlier. Yes, it's prose about tense is T, and then the rat. Yeah, I think I had it in the wrong place. Anyway, blot, napkin, dispersed, directly. Okay, so it's an anagram of blot, napkin, and looking at the letters we have, I think it must be point blank. Yeah, that seems to be right. I should definitely be able to get this. Let's try the anagram helper. Autopsied snitch. Not seeing it. Unctuous, no. Why am I not getting that? I probably should look at possible word endings that are in there. What would it come between the I and the T? Could be the other S, could be a C. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to pause and do this one on paper and see if that helps. Okay, I started writing down, beginning with that, and then thinking there must be a vowel after the S. And if it is PH, and then, oh, of course, unsophisticated. 2 eyes. There we go, ingenuous. As opposed to disingenuous. All right, compromised goal caused ill feelings. Well, seeing E something D, I wonder if that could be end. And goal is an end. And so I'm wondering if it's going to mean compromised. And it begins with end, followed by something for caused ill feelings. Compromised. Of course, that can mean people who compromise to come to an agreement, or someone who has been compromised and caused ill feelings. And no, not seeing it. Brooded, being upset by insanity somewhere in Australia. Could it be, if it's somewhere in Australia, could it be Tasmania? Just because I see mania, which might be insanity. And brooded, I think, is sat, maybe in the sense of hens that are brooding, and that's upset or turned upside down, and it's by insanity, by mania. That sounds about right. Right about time to be worldly. No, don't get that. Gruff dog starting to turn. Gruff. Of course, having the dog there, I'm thinking of a dog saying rough or bark, but dog starting, which could be D, to turn. No. Let's go back here. Story of inhabitant. Oh, narrative. Yes. So river repeat. A river repeatedly is ARR. And then we have native. Oops, let me go back. A native is an inhabitant. And that makes a story a narrative. Ooh, maybe this is a bark. But I don't see how it would be. And now our worry about oh, I did think it was carnage, but I was thinking, oh no, CA, yeah, AGE. It could be care, could be worry. Ah, yes, around a nag is the horse. All right. That's a good one to get. Now our right about time to be worldly. Oh, yes. So I think our moral is to be right, is to be moral, about a T for time, and that gives mortal. Now mother is ma, and child is son, and a mason is a builder. Now our gruff dog. Oh, dog is a cur. Yeah, so it's not the dog starting, it's, sorry, the starting letter of turn is curt. So if somebody is gruff, they're curt. So just 2 left. Well, that certainly looks like it ends in IC. Ooh, sorcery could be magic. Yeah, and MAG. IC, and hiding a trap is a net. Magnetic is alluring. All right. Let me get rid of that and just in case, but compromised goal caused ill feelings. Just looking at what words might fit. Oh, I think end was right. And then angered is caused ill feelings. And so compromised is endangered. I suppose if a mission is compromised, it's now endangered. It seems a little loose of a synonym to me, but anyway, so it just took me about 30 minutes, a little bit more, but not too bad, I think. Certainly easier than a regular daily crossword. Let me go ahead and check all. Oh, I spelt capital wrong. So it must be A. Yes, oh dear. If this had been a crossword competition, I would have been knocked out for that. So funds is capital. Oh yeah, the capital with the O is the building. All right, well that's a disappointing end, but otherwise everything went fairly smoothly. I hope you're able to solve it as easily, and I'm sure most of you did it a lot more easily. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a great day.